So unfortunately, that is not usable.
We're back with this beautiful little stationary engine. So after a bit of research, it looks like it could have been a marine engine at one stage. These were also released under the name PUP from Blaxland Ray as marine engines, the Pop engine, as I found out doing some research. But as we saw, we do have some damage to the cylinder head. So let's get straight into that, sorting out what we need to swap over from those spare parts we have onto this and see how far we can get, and hopefully we can get it to make some noise today. With the way this engine's designed, you can't get any sort of socket on majority of these bolts. It's kind of forcing me to use hand tools, which, you know what? I like that. Something different. Taking it apart the way it was built. Get this fuel line off here. Just like that. And then bang, there we go. Place this out the way somewhere. Someone's been here at some stage. The crush washer's missing. Just a slightly different view of that damage. Definitely no good. I'm probably being a bit rougher than this and what I should be, but I just need to try and get this out. And I'm sure there's people wincing looking at me do this. I'm kind of wincing too. No, it's still broken. Oh, I can see the bottom of the piston. We're almost there. Don't like bashing that in like that though. Try a bit of a gentler path. No, didn't work. Oh, there we go. Just don't want that piston to slap down or anything. Got it. Whew. So it's super exciting. The bottom end is just absolutely butter smooth. There is a bit of movement in here, but I mean, I don't know how far we'll go with that. It needs a touch of movement, but I don't know if that much is too much. But I'm going to try and get the mic as close as I can to this bottom end so that you can hear the lack of noises that are actually in it. So I'm just going to even hold my breath and just listen to see if you can hear anything. You may hear the rod hit the cylinder. I'm just going to try and hold it away as best I can. Like absolutely just smooth. So smooth. All right, I'm going to show you guys the inside of that bottom end as best I can. Just try and get you a good picture of what it looks like in there. I'm wondering if someone can tell me, because like I said, I haven't worked on one of these before, but at the end of the screwdriver on either side, on the, going to call it the crank weights, but where basically the crankshaft attaches to the ears down there, it looks like it's been welded. I don't know if that is factory, because like I said, on a new engine now, they definitely wouldn't look like that. But if someone could tell me, that would be great. But there's plenty of oil down in there, which that'll have to be cleaned out, but at least there's plenty of oil in there. It does look quite goopy in there, but I'm just happy that that cylinder's not damaged by the looks of it. I'll give it a wipe off now. And the bottom end is in good order, which is great. Ah, the rings are jammed. That's what it is. I think I can see why we were getting that scraping noise. There's a tiny little bit of damage over here. So this is the damage I was talking about. Just here, see, you can see those very slight gouges. They're not deep enough to catch my fingernail. There's also a bit of a build-up of something just here as well, which is definitely high. So potentially that's what I was feeling when we were rotating the engine. So this is what the cylinder head's looking like. Try and get you the best view I can. It's a bit hard, but there's a bit of gunk just on the bottom right-hand corner. I'm just going to see if I can gently clean that up with a very fine Scotch-Brite. And then what I actually think I'm going to do is if we come over to the piston, the rings are actually stuck. So I'm going to see if I can get the piston off, soak that in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then I think I actually want to give this a rip and just see if we put this back together, if we can get anything out of it. So it's much freer now. It's still catching a tiny bit, but what I want to do is just see if we can get this thing to kick over and show any signs of life, and then we can decide what we're going to do from there, I think. So one thing I don't have is the leather starting belt for this, so going to have to be a little bit creative with that. I just went and found a good old Blundstone belt. Doesn't fit me anymore, so we'll use that. Feels like a good thing to do. So a bit of an update. I'm going to take this cylinder off again. You might be wondering why I'm not putting the new cylinder on. Well, there's a bit of disappointment with that. I had a look at it just before, and there is a hole in the side of it that I didn't notice. And then upon closer inspection, all of the water, I'm not sure what you'd even call it. Maybe not the valleys, the galleys, maybe they call it. Anyway, the water veins that run around the cylinder to help keep it cool so the water can flow through it, they are all absolutely rusted shut. So that's going to basically be an impossible fix. So we're going to have to look at some options for this, which I don't know how many they're going to be, but we're going to have to find them pretty quick smart so that we can get on top of fixing this and get it running again. But I'm just going to try honing the cylinder out and see what happens. So to give you an idea of some of the damage that I was talking about, that right there is a pinhole straight through, which is not ideal. The spark plug hole has been plugged up at some time with a what looks to be broomstick handle, but that could be a good thing because we could be clean in the actual cylinder. Now this is the exhaust side of that cylinder, and as you can see, it's pretty bad.
So just to give you an idea, I've just split that casing. It's a bit hard to get a really good view in there, but that's what that spare cylinder looks like. It's just absolutely rusted up. And the whole bottom end, all this housing is just full of rust. So unfortunately, that is not usable.
We're looking pretty good. There's a couple of spots which I think you can just see on camera just down in there that just need a little bit more. Don't want to ever take too much off with a hone because you can't put it back again. I found a broken piston ring, and I think what has happened in this, or the story of this machine, is that it's probably overheated, and then by overheating everything's expanded, and then this outer cast casing has cracked. The fact that I think it's overheated also would explain any sort of warpage on the inside of the cylinder, and the fact that those piston rings, one of them was stuck to the piston. But when I first looked at it, I didn't notice the crack. But now, after having a few really good attempts at starting this and taking that cylinder off again, that particular piece of the piston ring was just loose and floating on the side of the piston, which is very unfortunate. So not quite the ending we were hoping for, obviously. I wanted to hear a bit of a pop pop, but it was not to be. So anyway, that's what happens. Keep your eye open for the next installment of this. There will be a video coming up of the jet ski shortly, and I'm going to start on that green engine whilst waiting for the parts on this one. Just with the way things are and getting parts, sometimes it takes a bit longer, so we'll keep the content coming with a few other little projects, and we'll tick these off the list as we can. Thanks for watching.